Ike, I haven't talked to you since the Steelers traded Chase Claypool to the Bears. He had 2 catches, 6 targets. Bears hung with the Dolphins team. And remember, the Bears offloaded their 2 best defensive players in Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, and they hung with a Miami Dolphins team that I at least expect to make the playoffs, Ike. But I wanted to get your thoughts about the Claypool trade, and then we could talk about this game overall. I haven't talked to you since last Tuesday's trade deadline.
A much-needed trade on both ends. Pittsburgh have another second round pick in the draft coming with 2023, so that would be a first and 2 seconds, a third and a fourth. So just looking at it from a scouting standpoint, it's like, oh, man, this good. Come on, Coach Ike. As the kids would say, let's see what you can do for this draft and help the Pittsburgh Steelers out. But, Chase is coming up on his contract soon. The Chicago Bears needed a big receiver. We all know that he played at Notre Dame. So playing in the cold, catching in the cold, it makes a lot of sense. To be honest, he's kind of close to home, so say. But between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Chase, we'll see. They already have their number 1 receiver in my mind, and that's George Pickens, just off of talent. Now, as far as performance, Deontay Johnson, we all know what he can do because he is a Pro Bowl receiver. But man, they just young. You know what I'm saying? They're young. They like Austin III. I'm sure they're going to incorporate him coming off this bye week mark. But yeah, for Chase, man, it's just sometimes you just need to hit the reset button and have a fresh start elsewhere. And I think with him and the young Justin Fields, they're going to wind up doing their thing. It's just a matter of time. We all see what Justin Fields has been doing, and that's using his legs. Everybody that wanted to make him a pocket quarterback, but now when you give him the option between passing and running, you see how many yards he put up when it came down to rushing. I think he might have been 3 yards short of an NFL record when it comes down to quarterback rushes. So in one game, so that'll be perfect. It's just a matter of time between Chase and Justin, them getting on the same page all the time. But for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we did gain another second-round draft pick.
Yes, Ike. Justin Fields breaking Michael Vick's regular season single-game rushing record, just short of Colin Kaepernick's all-time mark, which was in a playoff game. And
Correct.
So using his legs, running around, that 61-yard touchdown, he looked more like a speedster running back than he did quarterback, Ike. And the Bears get him another weapon to evaluate him. I said, and I'm on record saying this, I think it's a win-win for both teams because the Steelers aren't going to make the playoffs this year at 2-6. There's been one team that's gone on and made the playoffs after a 2-6 start, talking about the 2020 Washington football team, and they won the NFC East that year with a 7-9 record. So if the Steelers aren't going to make the playoffs this year, we don't know what will happen in 2023. That's when Claypool's contract is up. And Ike, we talk about this all the time. There's 2 position groups the Steelers draft extremely well. They draft and develop receivers and linebackers. So we like what we have in George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, if he can get back to form from what we saw a year ago. Calvin Austin III isn't going to play this year. He'll be back next year. And this provides an opportunity. If you're Steven Stimms, Gunnar Olszewski, Miles Boykin, if you want to be on this roster beyond this season, now's your time to shine to prove what you can do, because if not, I'm really not concerned with who the Steelers can bring at the receiver position because they've shown they can do that time and time and time again. And that's why I think this trade makes most sense, because if Claypool's not going to help you contend this season, next season, you now get a second-round pick in return, which is probably going to be higher than Green Bay's pick too, because Green Bay also offered a second-rounder. Don't forget, Ike, Chicago keeps Claypool away from Green Bay as well. Rodgers wanted another target too. So this is why, again, I was on record last week. I think this trade made a lot of sense for both teams. He has the size and speed. If he puts it all together, Chase Claypool from the neck down is everything you want in a receiver. If he can put it together here, he has a special and a bright future ahead. I just hope he can tap into that ability that we saw as a rookie when he scored 11 touchdowns. He can get back to that form. Again, I think this could be a win-win for both teams.